time for the commissioner to
Here's the
come out.
commish.
I'm seeing him leaving.
We're sweating.
All
right, here we go, Alex. So J.J. McCarthy, Malik Nabers, Roma Dunze, right? Something like that?
Some offensive linemen that are out.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm nervous. He was looking really stressed, almost as stressed as I am right now. Oh, he's pointing at people.
I feel like you say that. I feel like you say that every year.
We're not getting copyrighted. Oh, here we go. All right.
With the 6th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Malik Nabers.
Yeah. All right. Let's go.
Even my friend Tommy, who's a Jets fan, is clapping on the opposite end of New York.
There's no clapping on that end of New York, but yeah, Nabers.
All right.
I mean,
here, wait, turn the audio off so we can.
Yeah, sorry.
Talk about this a little bit. So yeah, I mean, do you want to start or do you want me to start?
Nah, you go ahead. I'm taking it all in.
Malik Nabers out of LSU is someone we talked about, someone we wanted in obviously the first round at pick number 6. It's someone who I said I wanted the Giants to pick when I was going through like the top 5 players. Alex, I believe you agreed at that. And if you're looking 1 versus 1, Roma Dunze versus Malik Nabers, you're always going to choose Malik Nabers, I think, out of that bunch. Roma Dunze will go later in the top 10. Good for him. Congrats to him. Congrats to Washington for making it that far in the national championship run, although they didn't finish. But anyway, we're talking about LSU right now. Jane Daniels got picked a little bit earlier. We knew who he was throwing to, obviously, between Brian Thomas Jr. and Malik Nabers. Malik Nabers being the better player. The athleticism is something that sticks out to you right away. The route running is something that sticks out to you right away. And Alex, I don't want to take like every characteristic about Malik Nabers out of this. I want to let you talk about him a little bit more.
Yeah. I mean, you look at these 3 receivers, I feel like a lot of people have them in all different orders. I think Nabers for me was clear number 2. Odunze maybe has that more prototypical size, but I think of a guy who can really do something with the ball in his hands. I mean, Nabers is just a really elite prospect. And I mean, I do want to touch on the fact that obviously no trades in the first 5 picks. Drake May goes number 3. Clearly the Patriots were not taking any calls. Giants left here decision with J.J. McCarthy or a receiver, and the Giants opt receiver. It'll be interesting to see where J.J. McCarthy ends up going. I'm guessing probably Minnesota, but yeah, for sure, I'm really happy with this pick, and I think he's going to bring a dynamic aspect to this offense that we just haven't had since OBJ. Probably is a fair.
That's what I'm trying to say, though. Like,
yeah,
we've always, I mean, we've been seeing this leading up to the draft. The Giants need their wide receiver number 1. Malik Nabers can be that wide receiver number 1, obviously, if everything pans out. But since Odell Beckham in the 2010s and the early 2010s at that, I mean, the last years with the Giants is 2015, 2016, we haven't had that. We've had experiences where we tried to have that with Dave Gettleman's regime, drafting Wandale, drafting Jalen Hyatt last year. And then we talked about the little Detroit Lions run of the guys like Golden Tate and Kenny Galladay just absolutely not working out, having to eat their contracts of millions of dollars. And luckily now we have a guy, Malik Nabers, who we can have for a few years on a cheap deal. And like we said, Alex, the movement off the line of scrimmage, that's really what you're going to want to watch out of him. The movement off the line of scrimmage is absolutely elite. And something that's going to be great at an NFL level. I don't know if you remember, I just pulled up when we did our wide receiver rankings heading into it, the 2 comparisons, because we had 2 comparisons for him at wide receiver. Do you remember which one of them was?
I don't really remember.
Don't worry, I got you. It was the person. It was the person that we thought was also going to be our wide receiver number 1 in Kadarius Toney, and look what happened to him.
Oh, yeah.
Alongside Kadarius Toney, though, our other comparison, this is a big guy to compare him to, Jamar Chase. So we'll see if he lives up to Jamar Chase expectations. But again, also a pretty taller threat. They mentioned, in Marvin Harrison, obviously being 6'3", but 6 foot is not bad for a wide receiver, 200 pounds. That's my height and weight right there.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I can't
run a 4.5, but that's my height right there.
No. Yeah, well, Malik Nabers runs a 4.3, so I mean he's lightning quick. He can yard after catch, he can compete in the air. Like, I just think overall he's just one of the best prospects we've seen in a long time at the wide receiver position. Like you said, Giants need a number 1 target, and they really needed this, and I think it's kind of a no choice situation. You just had to go with Nabers or Dunze, and I like Nabers better, so I'm happy with that pick. And I know there's gonna be people who are disappointed, no quarterback for sure. In some senses, I am. Of course, we kind of had the Drake May I guess like tease a little bit over the past couple of days. But if we're all being honest with ourselves, we knew that was never happening. And Nabers is, was probably one of my top choices for the pick. And I don't think they could really go wrong with this one. Of course, they definitely can if he ends up not being as great as we think he is. But from this current point, it feels like they can't go wrong.
Yeah, and last thing I'll say, and then we should let everyone who's watching get back to actually watching the draft. Obviously, we appreciate you watching thus far to our reactions. But the last thing I would say is, like you were saying, obviously, no, you're good. Obviously, no, we appreciate it. Tommy's even helping us out here.
Locked in.
You pick the wide receiver, you're going to want the quarterback alongside him, right? So do we trade back into the first round? Alex, pick number 32, Michael Penix Jr. Our mock draft too had him going. But
I'll have to be paying attention later. We'll see.
So, yeah, I mean, with Malik Nabers now as your number one wide receiver, it is absolutely not like it wasn't important without him, but now with him there, with Daniel Jones coming back off this ACL tear, it's going to be astronomically important how good Daniel Jones is off of this torn ACL. Absurdly important, like extremely important. And I'm going to stop using different words to used before important. Okay. With that being said, we appreciate you watching this, whatever social platform you are on. I'm posting on all of them. And we'll have some more talk at some point in the near future during the NFL draft. Obviously, if you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like on the video. And Alex, any other final thoughts?
Thank you, brother.
Oh my God.
All
right. I'm really happy. And, hopefully we get some great players, continuing the draft. That's all I'll say. And enjoy the rest of the first round.
More draft coverage coming soon on the Giant Take podcast. For right now, enjoy the NFL draft. For Josh, Alex, see you next time. Peace.